So the Indiana Fever are facing off against the Seattle Storm today. Again, I'm recording this from a car right after the Phoenix Mercury game. So I'm going to be talking about this game right here. And if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. I don't know how many subscribers I have right now, but we're trying to hit 26,500 by the time I get back from this music festival. And no one else is recording this many videos from a car. Trust me on that. You'll never see someone recording this many videos from a damn car. Like, there is going to be a lot up. Trust me, an awful lot up. But, yeah, so we have got right here a very interesting matchup between the Seattle Storm and the, wow, Dallas are getting beaten bad. I'm surprised. Oh, Connecticut are good. How's Satu getting on? 3 of 8. Seager's playing, or Seager's still hurt. But yeah, for this game here, the big thing is that as much as I would say, oh, Jordan Horston's such a tough matchup, like, as Jordan Horston is a really tough matchup, so was Kat Copper, and Caitlin Clark cooked her today. I think the whole thing is that Jewel Lloyd has looked like prime Michael Jordan so far this year against the Indiana Fever. That is the key. And the key is not anything other than do not let Jewel Lloyd drop 35 points. Simple. There is a simple solution. A very, very simple solution. And it is not even don't let Jewel Lloyd cook you. Sorry, need to grab something. But because Jewel Lloyd is going to cook you. That is just what has happened. Do not let Jewel Lloyd go for 30. Hold Jewel Lloyd to 22 points. Hold Jewel Lloyd to her season average. And you're fine. You'll be fine. Ezi Magbagor has given Aaliyah Boston a lot of trouble this year. This probably isn't the going to be an Aaliyah Boston like showcase game. Skylar Diggins on the offensive end has given Caitlin Clark a bit of trouble, but again, won't be worse than what Tash Cloud did. Neka Wumake is going to cook Melissa Smith, but that's a given. I think it's all about just about getting them stops. If Jewel Lloyd plays like Jewel Lloyd does this season, again, shooting 22 shots to get 20 points, then the Fever are going to be able to break, and the Fever are going to win this game. Like the Seattle Storm, it's not like the Seattle Storm have this supreme depth. They have Sammy Whitcomb coming off the bench. That's their depth. That's their real depth, is Sammy Whitcomb coming off the bench. They are a really good starting five with not much depth. Whereas Indiana are a pretty good starting five with a little bit more depth. But again, this is a team that you don't want to let them sweep you. You just don't. Like, the Storm should not be sweeping the Indiana Fever. Especially after the first or the second game you lost, where it was like you really should have won that one. But the Storm have had comfortable wins in other games against the Fever. Like, they really have. Like, they have been very, very comfortable. The Fever have really struggled with this team. And I would still tip the Storm to win this game, to be honest. Like, you're looking at 17-8 versus 12-15. So you're looking at a below 500 team versus one of, again, the Liberty are out by themselves, but the next four are basically tied in that next four. So for Seattle, again, the key is Jewel Lloyd. The key for Seattle is Jewel Lloyd. The reason why Seattle has been beating the Fever is because Jewel Lloyd has played like prime Michael Jordan. And the problem is, when you are the Fever, no one on this team can guard Jewel Lloyd. But actually, in fairness, the emergence of Lexi Hull has kind of coincided with the uptick in form for the Fever. And Lexi Hull, I think, can do a decent job on Jewel Lloyd. But again, sometimes Jewel Lloyd just hits her shots. When she's hitting her shots, she's hitting her shots. And she's got like something to, like a point to prove almost after the Olympic break. And this game here, like 28th of the 6th, that was the last game. So the last game when they played was right before the Mercury game where Caitlin Clark had the near triple-double. So it was like the end. I was like kind of the start of the Fever becoming a good enough team. And at this stage, you're looking, So they were 17-6. Since then, they've been what? 6-2? Or say 11-6 right there. But this was like a 20 point. This was not a 12-point game. This was a blowout. This was a 20-point game that became 12. And it was the exact same with this one. This could have been 30. But this first game they played, like, if I was Indiana, I'd still be sick after this game. Like, a game to go 0-5 when the only reason they lost was because Caitlin Clark went off for 7 minutes in the third quarter for some reason. And that was also before Aaliyah Boston became the Aaliyah Boston that we all know. We all know. So, yeah, I would say, look, for the Fever to win, they need to run. The Fever can beat anybody running. They can beat any team in this league if they run. The problem is that you don't know how often the Fever are going to run. You don't know what they're going to do game in, game out. And also running is like dependent at times on getting stops, and the Fever sometimes don't get stops. I think Ezzy's going to be a tough matchup for Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston has yet to get the better of Ezzy McMcGore this year. And if Aaliyah Boston can at least go toe-to-toe with Ezzy McMcGore, we're going to be fine. Or like Fever are going to be fine. Skylar Diggins-Smith is going to get cooked by Caitlin Clark. I'm predicting 23 and 7 assists for Caitlin Clark. For me, it just comes down to Jewel Lloyd. If Jewel Lloyd looks like prime Michael Jordan, there's nothing they can do. They just have too much firepower, and they don't have anyone that can put it up to Nneka Nwumeke. Like, the best player on the floor in either of these teams is on any given day. It could be, to be honest, it could be anyone. And for Indiana, if you can continually get 56 points from your backcourt, you're not going to get that. Let's just say you can get 50 points from Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. I think they're going to win 9 times out of 10 when they get 50 from the two of them. So,
hopefully we can get to the end of this video.